Hey everybody, so I want to talk about my top 10 favorite things to do in Guild Wars 2. This will literally just be a list in no particular order of 10 of my favorite things to do. And so let's go ahead and get into it. So I know I said no specific order, but this is probably my favorite thing to do over the past few weeks, and that is world bosses. World bosses are just so much fun. They're really, really chill. They don't really require any skill at all. They're just kind of like chill, laid back activities because there's usually so much people doing them. You don't really need to like really focus a lot. It's just like a chill thing to do that I love doing. There's daily chests behind it and shit. You can get some cool stuff out of it. You can get a decent amount of gold from stuff. Yeah, there's just lots of really fun things to do when it comes to world bosses. Two of them can give ascendant gear, which is pretty awesome. There's some of them that can give you a lot of gold. Claude Jormag is one that a lot of people do for skins and shit that can give you quite a bit of gold. You also have Casino Blitz, which is technically a meta event, but there is a boss at the end of it that can get you something. I forget what it is, but it usually nets like around 70 gold-ish on the trading post, so it's kind of a popular one to go and do just because it takes so short to do. Like, it's like, might as well give it a shot. And yeah, they're pretty low chances of getting good shit, but I don't know, it's a lot of fun to go and do, to be honest. The second one here is going to be map completion. Yeah, map completion is a lot of fun. I love doing hearts and events and stuff like that. Just chilling out, having a good time. That's what map completion is to me. I just love doing map completion. It feels a lot different than a lot of other MMOs. Like usually with other MMOs, I hate doing map completion, but this game, it's really fun. It's oddly fun. And as a Necromancer main, I basically never die when doing these. So I don't really have to worry about death. It's really chill doing a lot of these. And I'm just kind of pursuing that eventual um, been there, done that title, which I'm excited to get. I'm almost there actually. I'm at 81% for world completion. And then of course I'm going to go for all the DLC maps. I'm going to do all of them. Tons of content there to do, and you can also get a good amount of shit out of them too. There's lots of good stuff you can get. Number three is going to be fractals. Fractals are really interesting because they're basically dungeons of this game. Yes, there's regular dungeons, but let's be honest, nobody fucking does those. So yeah, fractals are a lot of fun to do. Um, and yeah, it's just simple as that. I haven't done a fractal in quite a bit just because I've been working on other things, but when I do get back to fractals, I'm sure I will have a lot of fun working my way up to tiers and stuff like that. And yeah, number four is going to be strike missions. This is something that I've only recently gotten into, but are a lot of fun. Now, I am eventually planning on getting into raiding, but I heard that strike missions were a great way to get into the kind of raiding scene, so I started off doing some strike missions. I went to the place where people were doing strike missions. I think it's like Eye of the North or something. And basically, one of the guys invited me, and I was talking in the chat about, hey, does anybody do strike missions still? Because I went to one of the public queues, and it's like, dude, there's nobody doing these. Because I was like, hey, I could just go into public queue and probably have an easy time with it. And then the guy was like, yeah, no one does those, but he invited me anyway, and we were doing all of the strike missions, every single one of them. And he basically taught me how to do all of them. So I know how to do all of them now, which is really awesome. And so they're a lot of fun. They are very, very short. They're only really only one boss raids basically that are really easy to do. But they're really chill. Like I was actually really surprised on how like kind of laid back they were. Um, and I don't really know how regular raids are in terms of how laid back they are. That's something I love about this game. I basically just do all the laid back stuff, and strike missions were surprisingly laid back and a lot of fun to do. And so I'm excited to work on the Icebrood Saga masteries and shit like that, and be able to get the bonus chests and all that, which I need to work on those. And yeah, really excited to go and work on those. And yeah, next one here is going to be, this is what, number five? Yeah, number five is going to be karma slash gold farming. Now, the reason I put karma farming in here is because one of my favorite ways to get gold is to buy, there's basically these gloves you can get in, I think it's Bloodtide Coast, and you can sell them, or you can combine them in a Mystic Forge, and you could use them to get materials, which then you could sell. It doesn't give you, the amount that you would get from Reba, But it's probably my favorite way to get gold in this game because I love going out and doing like dynamic events and meta events and all this stuff. That can get you, good amount of karma, and I can turn that into gold, and I love that. Because for a while I didn't really have any reason to spend karma. I had like over 400,000, and I was like, there's literally no point for me to spend any of this shit. What the hell? And then I discovered this, and I recommended on YouTube, and I was really excited. I was like, finally, there's a way to do this. And for a while, I really struggled on shit to do because there's no gear treadmill in this game. I always struggled on stuff. I'm like some like long-term goal to go for besides map completion, and gold is that thing to go for. And now that I've found ways that I love doing for gold, and that's something that I recommend people do, is find ways that you love doing for gold. Don't just go for whatever's the most efficient way to get gold, like Reba or something. Try to find like a method that you love doing for gold. And those things for me are like world bosses and um, the just the karma farming, doing events and stuff like that, and then turning that into karma, turning that into gold, and yeah, I just love doing that a lot. Number six here is going to be daily achievements. This is something that you could do every day that usually takes about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on what the achievements are, and can net you a good amount of stuff. You can get a lot of materials, a lot of karma. You can get a lot of just a good amount of stuff. And yeah, they're just a lot of fun. You can get 2 gold. It's real easy and quick 2 gold. And it's just a fun thing to do. Usually, there's like you go and view a vista, which is incredibly easy. You can gather materials, usually like 10 materials or 3 to 4 times of gathering materials. There's 4 events on locations, which is incredibly easy, considering there's a lot of people going out and doing them. And if you're on a location where world bosses are at, those are usually pretty quick to get a few events done. Um, so yeah, it's a lot of fun going and doing these. I usually do them every single day. Usually, what my daily routine is right at 5 o'clock. I never know how to say this thing. It's like Taquati or some shit. It's the world boss that starts at reset every time for me, 5 o'clock at night. And then I go and do my daily achievements, and then I go and do whatever after that. Sorry, my cat's meowing. And yeah, I just do them every day. They're a lot of fun. And yeah, they're just another laid back thing to do. Another thing is was a pretty long term goal for me, and I'm almost done with that, and that is getting a full set of Ascendant gear. Um, this was something that I was really looking forward to doing, and that I've slowly accumulated over time, mostly by crafting. I know it's probably the most long term way to do it, but crafting is probably the most reliable way to get Ascendant gear. And right now, basically, I have almost full Ascendant armor. Like I said earlier, I'm a Necromancer main, so I'm using Tailoring. I got that bitch up to 500 using one of the guides that you do, like the fast gold guide. I kind of forgot. I think it was on Guild Wars 2 efficiency or some shit. And yeah, like I said, for a while, this was kind of like my main goal. But after I discovered that, there's other stuff to go for, and that I shouldn't just be focusing on gear because eventually I'm just gonna get disappointed with that. I need to expand my horizons a little bit. I haven't been working on this as much. Anyway, yeah, so next one is going to be meta events. Meta events is a lot of fun. They're basically the regular dynamic events, but they're like massive scale events that can get you a lot more shit that are on like a timer based sort of thing. And I love using the wiki. This is something that I discovered recently on how good this place was. I usually use there's a couple other sites I use, and now I use 2 event timers. So I use the Guild Wars 2 official wiki event timer, which is very, very helpful for meta events. And then I use the Mega Server Event Timer from GuildWarsTemple.com. This one I use for world bosses because the world bosses are really simply like laid out on this site. And then I use the wiki one for the meta events whenever I want to do those. And yeah, a lot of fun doing those. And yeah, number 9 is going to be story missions. Story missions, I don't do them too often, but I do like doing them, especially the living world stuff and all that. And I had to do the Path of Fire one to get the Griffin mount, and that was a lot of fun. I actually loved facing Balthazar. I felt like a literal fucking god at the end of it. And yeah, number 10, last but not least, is going to be going for mounts. Now, I'm already done doing this. I'm not planning on going for the War Claw, but I have every single mount. For a while, my main chase was getting the mounts. I remember how fucking excited I was when I got the Griffin, and I got the Skyscale, and then I got all sorts of mounts, and you've gotten skins and shit like that. I've had a lot of fun, and there's a Skyscale right there. I got that new skin recently, the one that they released. It was like $20 or whatever. They released the what skin was it again? It was like that weird Skyscale skin they released. It is basically like a Necromancer Skyscale skin. It's really cool. So I got that and it looks fucking sick. It's not the one on screen, because this footage I think was from like a week ago or something before the skin came out. And yeah, that's gonna be the list, guys. I'm sure there's probably more things that I like doing, but these are like the main things that I like doing. Um, and yeah, peace.